Hello. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome back to our Healing Through Awareness. Actually, this is the evolution of Healing Through Awareness, Creation Through Awareness. And last time, the Wi-Fi decided to cut us off and humble us a little bit, like we are
Yes,
not ready, but we are back more powerful than ever. So here with
100%. And you know what you say, Victoria, regards to this one, now that we're going to talk about consciousness and awareness. So maybe 2 weeks ago, it wasn't ready
yeah.
to do anything about it. So it's
Well, we
good.
are more ready now, that's for sure. We have been doing our homework diligently.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah. So today we are back with the topic of who and what you really are. And we are going to be talking about the I am principle.
Yeah.
So before we start, let me introduce myself. I'm Viktoria, spiritual alchemist and astrologer. I help women turn their pain into power and create heaven on earth through my heaven method. And I'm here today with my amazing and wonderful friend and colleague, Zsanett.
Hello.
Introduce yourself, please.
Right. So, to those who don't know me yet, so my name is Zsanett. I'm a certified NLP and a mindfulness coach. I am helping women to basically overcome their heartbreak. And so this is it actually with my new ebook that has been actually launched recently. So anyone who is actually going through divorce, separation, or heartbreak, or being single for so long and need of healing and starting all over, I'm here. So, but generally, it's all about helping and raise the consciousness and raise awareness in every possible way, so then we can live a beautiful life on this earth, with or without patterns or any blockages. So, but obviously today this is not the subject. Today's subject is a very broad, very, very deep subject that we're going to discuss. As you said it yourself, Victoria, right?
Yeah.
Is the who am I, and remembering yourself as a source, which we all are. We all are. We just forget. So we are here to remember those who are ready to remember and ready to go a bit deeper. Perhaps we can open up now a bit of a Pandora box to those who are able to walk through. So, Victoria, let's start with you, lady.
Yeah. So before so how do I start? Where do we
Yeah,
start?
that's the question.
Yeah.
That's a very deep question. So, how do we actually start something that is such a profound topic? Because, you know, remembering self, there is so many other ways how you can remember yourself. But, you know, there are some core promises. Perhaps we could start from how one can learn something that is so profound, that remember yourself. And the question is, I would bring this up, who is that I need to remember? So who am I in my core? Am I me? Am I Zsanett? Am I the NLP mindfulness coach, a mother, a wife? Who am I? So I think this is what the first question comes for everyone, right, Victoria?
Yeah.
When I started this journey many, many years ago, this is how it started. Something tragic happens in our beautiful life, that we feel that there is no way out, there is no way I'm going to survive this. And then one day you just hit the floor, the deep core, and then you just say, you ask yourself, what is this? Where is it coming from? What is this? This is it? This is me? This is the pain? Is it me? That's how it started for me personally.
Yeah.
And that's when the journey started. I think generally the universe and the source, how it works in general, my personal opinion, through my journey, as soon as you start a question, there are more questions going to come. People will somehow get you in your life in a way, in an unknowing way, and they start to talk about something that you need to hear in that particular moment. And it just goes on and it's opening up. So how did it started for you, Viktoria?
Well, I mean, I think that for most sensitive souls like myself, we have been asking this question from the beginning of time, like, who am I? What am I about this? What's the purpose of all this and everything? But still, we keep identifying with the ego and with our roles. And, as you said, like, I'm a mother, I'm a coach, I'm a healer, and stuff like that. And personally, for me, I had to go through many, many, many dark nights of the soul. So basically, a lot of suffering. Until you really awaken to who you really are. And as you said, like, it really I hit like the lowest of the lowest, like lost all hope completely, like.
Yes.
And then it clicked. I remembered. So yeah, I mean, I think that it's not an easy path, but we are here for this, for remembering and for after you remember,
So yes,
self-actualizing, like, yeah.
Absolutely, because when you say that when it hit us, the remembering, it's literally what the remembering means in this particular case is the identification that we've been giving to ourselves all those years, since our childhood. So we've
Yes.
been given, we've been given a name, we've been given parents, jobs, children in our life. And so the remembering to know who we truly are, it's very difficult because we've been very busy identifying ourselves with certain roles in our mind. And so when we hit that point in our life, whether it's through suffering, but usually it's through suffering, or whether it's because you are practicing this for a long time and you are lucky enough through meditation, through constant journaling, you just have that realization, which would be the better and a most beautiful way. But unfortunately, we humans, we come here for reasons. And that reason is that every single door, every single message that we need to receive has to come through a certain suffering until we arrive to a more advanced awakening, which is through practice, that sometimes when you are already there, there is no need to suffer, because if you already know who you are, the doors are opening. That doesn't mean we're never going to struggle. It doesn't mean we're never going to put obstacles, but we're going to look at it in a totally different way. But in order to get there, the first thing is who you are, right? Who we are. And then how do we know who we are? I had no idea. I asked the question, who am I? Who am I? And I've been meditating all those years until that something happened, that the awareness, the who am I, is actually in the quiet moment when you sit down and then you go within and the awareness of you as who you are, as a soul, we can say, as consciousness, that through breathing, for me, I realized through breathing, I was able to connect, because the space between the question and a breathing and the space is that little gap.
Yeah, beautifully said. Um, yeah, like that's the way to get to that point. Like, start asking yourself, who am I? And you will eventually get to that realization of who you truly are, because you will say, for example, your name, then your gender, then your, you know, this and that. But who were you before all of that? That's the
That's the way of finding out,
yeah,
right? And
yeah,
the who we are, it's no, the question is why we don't remember, why we didn't remember, why it took us, for some of us, such a long time to realize that. What is that something that was actually keeping us away to remember? And that was
yeah, identifying with your ego.
with your ego. Ego made sure, was protecting you so nicely, so you should never remember of who you are,
Yeah,
because the ego is literally here for that reason. So just to protect us, to feel safe.
yeah, yeah. And this is for me, like, this was everything, because for years I identified with my ego self. I like to call her Vicky the victim.
Oh,
She was, yeah, she was wounded, shy, silent, and, stuck in this healing loop forever, until I woke up to the fact of who I am really. And then I realized I could recreate myself. I had the power all along, right?
yes,
And then I became Victoria, the creator. What
beautiful.
was your journey of awakening to this
Mine was like,
realization?
mine was exactly the opposite as yours.
Yeah,
I put loads of mask, and I was the doer, the achiever, and I think for me that was the cover of everything. For you, you were the shy, perhaps, but I was the whoa, going out, the pretending, the being, the doing. And for me, I was very analytical, very skeptical, very, very skeptical. It took me a very, very long time to finally get to that point that I was able to fully know. And even fully know, you can't really fully know it. You're still knowing. But yeah, so for me, I was very much living in a hypnotic cultural shock, I would say. That's the
yeah,
best way to say. It's
mm-hmm.
like you think you by doing everything and pretending to be someone, or even if you pretend, eventually you become that someone. That probably even put more and more layers for me to remember. And that's why it was very hard at the beginning, because I just couldn't put my mind around it. I had to know why. And analytically, logically, we can't. We can't know that. In order to know this, you need to meditate, you need to go within, and just stay there in silence, and just be the pure awareness. And so when I started my meditations and knowing there is something more, it took me a long time, a long, long time, because I just couldn't work out how this awareness works. So reading and and YouTube and doing courses to find out. But then the thing is, we complicate it so much. I complicated so much this simple knowing. If I could just go in, not the guided meditation, I've been doing that for so long, you know, not even the guided meditation, but you, as you and yourself, and in the room in a peace and quiet, and there is no noise. And then you just feel the feeling, what is it within? And then it happened. So it was a very long journey.
Yeah.
Very, very long journey. So, but I suppose we all have to always remember and go back to this practice in our daily life, because just by witnessing the awareness during the meditation or during the peace or breathing time, that's just not enough.
Yeah.
So, who do you think you are, Viktoria?
So yeah, as we said and as we covered, that we are not the ego, we are not this limited self, right? We are not our name, our job, and everything. So then, who we are? We are the consciousness, the awareness, the one that is experiencing it all through our ego and through our vehicle. So
Yes.
yeah,
I think this subject about consciousness, it's very profound. We probably might not be even be so qualified yet to talk about this, but because it's just so profound. But I would probably, any audience who probably would like to experience or give a try, perhaps, especially for those who meditate, and instead of doing a guided meditation, if they can just sit down even for a 3 or 5 minutes just to calm themselves down through breathing technique or whatever it works for them. And just basically once they are there and as they go inside, what they feel, the feeling within you is the question is, who is noticing all this? Because, I've been sitting with that for so many years and asking and reading, and I have no clue. What do you mean consciousness? Many philosophers in the past, everybody was looking for consciousness everywhere in the wrong places, right?
yeah,
Because this is something it's so difficult to explain. It's always easier for those who never experience or who are open to do that, is to experience on their own skin.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, that's the best way to discover this, to close your eyes and turn inward and simply just experience that awareness. And that will get you there. I was even stuck in this being like that I should meditate and do this, do that to feel this awareness and
Yes.
consciousness, to feel high vibe, how they say it in spiritual
Yeah.
communities.
Yes.
But it is you, whether you are high vibe, whether you are sad or happy or whatever state you are in. It is the awareness that is aware of that state. So yeah, that's the best I could explain this. But yeah, this is a broad topic and this is not something that you can explain so easily. So we are doing our best here.
It's just a basic one.
Yeah.
So then the other question is that can rise for those, including us, during a day as we go by. is how we actually, pardon me for this noise. So basically, during the daytime, now when you experience it and you have an idea, you know who you are, but it's just not enough that moment, because we need to remind ourselves as often as possible, and mainly when we are get triggered, maybe when we feel fear, or when we have sadness or doubt. So anything when it comes up, usually people asking, so what then? So if I know who you are, is that mean that these feelings not going to come up? Is that mean that the obstacles or struggles not going to come up?
I love
So
that question, yeah.
because I had this question many times before I was able to do something about it, because I think there is a kind of misconception about this, that once we become aware, then we think that's that. Now I am aware, I know who I am, and that's it. Now my life is going to change from one day to the other and be done. I thought that. And then I realized that's totally not true, because you still have everything. But then that was the next step.
Yeah.
And so what then? So now we know who we are, we practicing daily. And then we know, so then how do we tackle these obstacles that they will come up? And how does it serve us after? What is your experience about this?
Yeah. Well, I think that, it changes from you identifying with your ego and looking through the ego to you becoming the divine, but it doesn't change, your external world, and you still experience the same things and go through the same stuff, but you kind of, how would I say it, like you are not the same observer. So you observed everything from this limited space and consciousness, but now you are this divine um, awareness, and
Yeah.
that's how it shifts.
Yes. So do you remember when we set this up? So, that the awareness we were talking about before previously quite a lot.
Yeah.
So I think even though once we know who we are, and that's number one, the awareness of knowing who you are. Mm-hmm. And so I've been doing loads of tests myself on my own, reading and practicing. And so what you said it so beautifully, now that your awareness has broadened up, then what we do is we just practicing and recognizing that every time when we are actually in front of a challenge, by noticing, not denying it, we don't pretend it's not there. That's not the awakening, because that's what I did. I said, no, it's not there. I'm going to close my eyes. No, I don't see it. And that doesn't work. That also doesn't work. So, okay, I think what we have spoken about, that the best practice is to recognize that the problem is there, not deny it. We are aware of it, but then reminding ourselves and go within as soon as we can, reminding to ourselves that we are a divine consciousness.
Yeah.
And then in a divine consciousness, fear, doubt, lack doesn't exist. And if I am experiencing it and I seeing it, feeling it, that doesn't mean that is true. So
you can
you
experience it, but you don't have to identify it with it.
Exactly.
Because you are just the observer, and you can, as a creator, recreate whatever you created. Yeah.
So many of them are recreating as affirmation. But I learned recently that the affirmation, that word when we say affirmation might not be strong enough. Because once we know we are a divine consciousness, rather saying affirmation, we say is recognition of something, who we truly are. So we recognize we are the divine consciousness. And then if we can, while we are experiencing anything like that, then any pain, because it's not going to go away just like that. It will eventually, but that's going to take time.
Yeah.
And just go within and until affirm your or recognize who you are until you calm down. And I think with time, everything, when it comes up, then I think we're just going to totally differently react to things. And we become more human. I mean, not human, we become more loving, more accepting. No more judging, no more criticizing others. We become someone like the light, who is just flying, being. We just become the being rather than the doing.
Yeah, beautifully said. I love that.
How do you feel
Being,
about this?
being.
Being.
Yeah, you become the being, not the doing. So for me, for example, even this human experience became more divine because I remembered who I am, and I appreciate this human experience even more. And this actually helped me and led me to forget and then remember who I am. So, when you remember, everything becomes more amplified. Even the food tastes better. You become more present. The music sounds nicer. You feel everything even more and appreciate everything even more. So that's
So
also
beautiful.
another thing that, yeah, I would, because it is common in the spiritual community to deny your humanness and everything. But I think when you remember who you are, then you actually appreciate it even more.
You see, and I totally I agree with you, because when you start this journey, I went through this as well, that I'm not human. But then obviously that's probably also what we need to experience that until you
Yeah,
realize that we are humans, we still have the pain, but then how we actually look at things and how aware we are the things, it will change.
yeah,
It doesn't change the fact that we have a body. We are not the body, but we have a body that is here. And if I pinch myself, I'm going to have pain.
yeah,
So that's an experience. But then once you become like that, then obviously this experience is turned something in a much softer way, because identification is not that I am the body. I have a body.
yeah, yeah.
This illusion of kind of like separation, right? I would say.
Yes,
So you said it so beautifully, when you eat the food, you feel the food you've tasted. It's like you become one with the food as you eat it. Or you listening the music, the sound, and you become like, as a flow, you flowing together. So it's different. We're still the same, but we're having a different experience in a
yeah,
different way, in a more pleasurable way, I would
yeah,
say.
totally.
Totally different journey. Beautiful journey to remember.
Yeah. It's worth all the pain and the struggle.
Yeah, but I suppose obviously that's a next topic for next one. that there is a reason we're here and why we're here, who chosen to be here.
Yeah.
Maybe that's another topic. This is just to allow our beautiful audience is to know that through awareness and going within, you are able to find that peace, that consciousness that it is within yourself. And by daily practicing, the life will actually become different.
Yeah, you can definitely find that higher perspective and shift into that divine self. And another thing I would love to touch on in today's session is, as I said in the beginning, the I am principle. So, as Neville Goddard said, the I am is actually the name of God. So, because we are speaking about creation through awareness, anything you put after the I am is creating. So, when you say, like, I am tired, I am broke, I am unworthy, I am sick, it is creating. So, just want to say that be aware of that and choose your words a little different. So you can say, like, if you are really sick or experiencing sickness, then you can say, I am healing, or I am so
I am abundant, so I am wealthy.
yeah.
Anything that we want. Yes.
Yeah, because anything you say actually goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can touch on that more in our next sessions.
Yes. Today just was a slight introduction of other topics that they're gonna come up, and they will relate it to this. And so, any questions or anyone wish to have or go something more profound, then please let us know, because this is just the beginning, and we will explore further, and then we will try to fly to different areas that hopefully will open up new doors to those who are ready, because the subject is not for everyone, and we know that. Right?
Yeah.
Well, fabulous. I don't know if you can tell if there are any questions at all. Or
no questions yet
okay.
so far. But yeah, we will take any questions you have. Feel free to leave them.
Absolutely.
And yeah, go
so
on.
it is a community, what we always say, and I'm just going to repeat like a parrot. We are here all as one. So if any issues or anything anyone wants to discuss, please feel free. Don't be shy. We don't judge. We're not here for that, but we're here to evolve together as one. So
and leave us your suggestions or topics you want to hear more on, and we talk about it or something. Feel free to let us know.
yeah.
So before we close off today's session, do you have anything you want to add?
Maybe just one thing is, I always say, is the self-compassion. Just be compassionate with yourself. And even if you start this journey and you fail, or you feel you're failing, or maybe you realize it doesn't work, just remember that it is a journey, and we need to take it slow. There is no rush. This is not a competition. It is a slow but very profound journey. And if one day you don't feel good, don't beat on yourself. Just know that, you know, it's a journey. It's a journey, and it's a long journey. So just be there and love yourself. That's the main key. That's the only message I would like to give for today.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, and I would like to add to that you are actually not becoming someone else, but you are remembering who you are. So that's why have compassion.
Yes. We already everything and more. We are more powerful than we know. And that's what we need to remember.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, my
Thank
dear
you.
Victoria. As always, absolute pleasure. And I'm looking forward to our next topic next week. And in the meantime, any questions, just let us know. Or perhaps our next topic, you can help us to create the next topic.
Yeah, and just to let you know that we will probably move to TikTok next week.
Thank you for remembering that.
Yeah.
Reminding of everyone, yes. So
feel free to join us there. We will leave our handles in the caption, and see you next week.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was amazing.
Thank you, Victoria. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.